Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric and I'm very excited because we finally got details for probably what is the most anticipated event for the year as far as officially sanctioned sorcery events, the Avatar of the Realm. This event is described as the global culmination of the year, a shared spectacle of imagination, artistry, and play that brings together players from across the entire realm, assuming you can fly to the US. The winner of this event, whoever ends up taking first place, will be deemed the Avatar of the Realm, but also all players who play with an avatar that have a winning record also are deemed the champions of the realm. So for example, if I play an avatar that is less played, Avatar of Water, for example, something like that, right? I go in with Avatar of Water. If I manage to maintain a winning record, and I imagine have to have the best record at that event for that avatar, I would be deemed the champion for the Avatar of Water and get a Avatar of Water rainbow foil promo card. If you're not familiar, so far these have been kind of handed out as prizes for top players at SCG. Cornerstone events is what they were, or no, they were called Crossroads at the time. Sorry. I get the names mixed up. They're kind of redefining them as they go as well. Cornerstone events are the events that happen at your local game store that are officially sanctioned. The formerly known as Crossroad events are now going to be called Grand Contests. So for example, the SCG Con events coming up, I believe there's one in DC and then one in Vegas, I think. I'm going to the one in Vegas. I'm a West Coast guy, so I don't remember all of the East Coast events happening, but that will be a grand contest. It will not have rainbow foils. They'll probably have some different, well, not probably, they will have some different pricing, which I won't go over here today. A little bit lesser, but still really cool. I'm definitely excited to go. But everyone has been really anticipating the dates and the information for Avatar of the Realm. So the article is linked if you'd like to go check it out. But November 13th through the 15th, so that's a Friday through Sunday, 3 days of sorcery at the Marriott Long Wharf Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts. And tickets go on sale next week. So at the time of this recording, in 5 days. So I think it's on the Thursday. So definitely set a timer and an alarm to make sure you don't miss that, because they do indicate that tickets can and probably will sell out. So they have not released the pricing for the tickets, which I'd like to discuss. Let's look at everything that they show the ticket includes. So one badge gets you access to everything included. It gets you access to every event throughout the weekend, which there are, I guess in total, there's 3 events. On Friday, there's a special mystery sealed event, which the details of that have yet to be announced. I'd like to talk about my thoughts on what I think that might be. Saturday is the Avatar of the Realm Constructed Championship. And on Sunday, it's the finals of that championship. So probably top 8, maybe top 4 cut. Not. I don't think it's defined yet. But also a team sealed event. So if any of you have ever attended an SCG Con event for all 3 days, it's very similar to that. The first day is sealed and drafts. The second day is constructed. The third day is the top cut of constructed plus some other sealed events if you didn't make top 8. So I will probably see you guys in team sealed on Sunday. But again, what's really cool and I'm really excited to see, earlier in the year, they had an article where they were discussing, as they were slowly kind of revealing these updates to what they want to do with organized play in 2026. Where they release the information of the store kits that are coming out for Gothic, which are really cool. If you're a brick and mortar store who wants to bring sorcery into your store, you can sign up for a store kit, which gets you set up to run some events. A step above that is to run Cornerstone events at your local game store. So these are sanctioned events that give out prizing. And it's basically like the next step before a grand contest. Then, of course, there's the grand contests, followed by the Avatar of the Realm. And they described what their philosophy was for these 3 events in these 3 keywords. They call it the 3 pillars of play: creativity, wonder, and mastery. So it kind of goes into those. That basically what they're saying is, of course, this is a competition, but we also want to reward players who, step out of the comfort zone, or maybe, let's be honest, you might be a player who goes, I know I won't make top 8. I'm not that kind of player, but I'm going to make a really, really creative deck and hope that I'm rewarded for it. So I don't know exactly how Eric's Curiosa plans to determine who wins these prizes. Like, are they going to analyze or just look over the shoulders of a bunch of decks and see like, oh, that was a cool play, but how would you catch all of the... I'm interested to see how they're going to handle that, but let's assume they have some neat way of doing that where they actually can determine like, wow, this person has a really cool deck. Maybe it's a matter of submitting deck lists with a primer. Now that I'm kind of thinking of this out loud, but perhaps one of the requirements they'll have for submitting your deck is you submit the deck and then submit like the reason why you built this deck. Like, I built this deck because I want to make top 8. Sure. I built this deck because this specific combo I think is really neat, and I hope it wins me some prizing as a creative player. Like, if you're just honest about it, I'm sure they'd be fine. That may be a solution they do. Actually, if they're listening to this, I'm sure they've already considered something like that. But I think that would be cool if you submitted your deck and with a self-description of what you're trying to do with the deck. That gives them kind of, they can maybe analyze you'd probably have to submit the deck the day before or the day of. And then maybe someone in the back goes through and sifts through those and kind of categorizes them as like, okay, these are, this chunk is all competitive decks, but this chunk is creative. This chunk is really, really weird, and dish out, prizing accordingly. So in addition to those rainbow foils, which I'm really tempted to kind of go for something like that. Like one avatar I've been really enjoying playing lately is the Interrogator. It reads that whenever an ally strikes the enemy avatar, your opponent chooses whether to let you draw a card or take 3 life. It's not an avatar that sees a lot of play right now, but when Gothic was coming out, it was the avatar I was the most excited to try and to brew with, and I'm finally kind of coming back around to brewing with it. It's hit or miss. I'm still figuring that out. But wouldn't it be neat if I brought that to an event with like a lot of games under my belt and felt pretty confident against the meta and actually had a winning record and got a rainbow foil? You know what I mean? Like, I just love that they are giving out additional incentives for all types of players that like myself included. As much as I play competitively, ultimately I'm just having fun. I like to say I'm like a top 16 player, maybe on a good day. Probably not a top 8 player. That's just how I self-describe myself. That's not like a boast. It's just like I do compete and I do try to do my best, and generally I tie for top 16th or maybe top 24, 32, in that kind of top 32, maybe you could say. But I have yet to make top 8. So I'm not quite there yet, but maybe that incentivizes me to, okay, I'm going to compete, but let's try an avatar that might get me a rainbow foil, or let's brew something very, very unique and hope that they give me some prizing accordingly to recognize my creativity here. And I'm sure they'll also do raffles. I don't want to speak for them and say that they will, but they have done that in the past. And if Eric's Curiosa is there, and it looks like Eric Olafsson himself is going to be there, the creator and the art director of the game, the head honcho, dare I say, our Lord and Savior. I'll try not to geek out when I hopefully get to shake his hand at the event, but that's exciting. He was supposed to be at Sorcery Con, but couldn't make it due to some, unforeseen family things that came up. So I'll be really excited. I also like to do content creation, so I'm going to see if I can try to get even just a quick 1-minute little interview with him, even if the questions are kind of predetermined. It would just be great to do that and be able to upload onto the channel. I'll do my best, no promises. I'll see if I can reach out and see if there's any wiggle room there. But kind of looping back to what I'm excited for, if any of you guys went to the SCG Con events last year in 2025, this will probably feel very familiar. I think what they were achieving with those events then are what they now were deeming. Now they're now realizing, okay, I think the Avatar of the Realm grand finale event at the end of the year should be this good. And what it is everyone who attends. Let me actually scroll down here where it lists this part of it. But it says, okay, the top 3 finishers will also take home an original hand-painted Atlas Thorn Tower painting. That's incredible. So is that all 3? I'm just now realizing that. So if you're not familiar, there's the tower promos, like the Gothic Tower and the Lone Tower. And it looks like the original paintings are being given out at this event. So that's huge. Every year, they're probably going to have some really, really amazing prizing like this, like the original hand-painted art for these cards. The cards themselves are very expensive. Last year at SCG Con, if you just attended the constructed event, you were given one, and they're worth upwards of like $150, $200. I think I sold mine on eBay for like $175. I'm the kind of player who, if I get something worth a few $100, I would rather sell it to buy more cards than keep one collector's item. But, one man's, I don't want to say trash, but like I don't need it, but someone else probably really wants it. So It's kind of a win-win for everyone, and it looks like that's what they're doing again at this event. Every player who completes all of their rounds in the championship will earn one of the foil tower promos randomly selected from the 3. So that's pretty cool. Because I believe I got the lone tower at SCGCon, but so did everyone else. So now everyone's going to get a random one. So there's probably going to be some trading that happens. Like, hey, I just need that one. I have extras of this. Would you mind swapping? We can do that. That's really, really cool. I will end up trading off and selling my copy. Well, yeah, now that I say that, I'm almost tempted to keep it. Like maybe I can get Eric. Well, Eric Olafson actually is known for not signing cards. I think the only card he signs is one of the promo Sorcerer cards, because he has signed it in the past, and I think that's the only one he signs. At least that's what I've heard. I believe that's true. So yeah, I'd probably, if anyone here is interested in my promo card that I'll have, I'd be happy to trade or sell it. Just FYI. But that's great. You know, just attending the event, you get a card that's worth, and maybe the value goes down, who knows, but right now that card's worth $150. Let's say it's even still worth 100 then. That's incredible. Just joining like, hey, you've attended the event, here's a $100 promo card. You know, win or lose, whatever. On top of that, it also says, let's see, additional tower promos can be earned throughout the championship, giving you something to aim for in each match you play. So I wonder what that means. I'm not sure if it's going to be like, oh, everyone who won round 2 gets a promo or something. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm sure they're going to have some really kind of wacky and unexpected ways that they're going to dish these out. But I think that's really cool. I think that I really support and love the idea and hope that they don't spell out all of the criteria. Like they do, one of the pillars is that word wonder. It makes me wonder, like, well, okay, I'm this kind of player. I wonder how I'm going to maybe win prizing for that. Like, how does the player that's not a top 8 player but really loves to do X win a prize? And maybe they never announce that, and every year it's a surprise, and that keeps it fresh. It keeps it exciting. It keeps you wondering, right? No pun intended. Keeps you wondering what it's going to be. I just think it's really cool. And I'm just gonna read like the final paragraph, and then we're gonna look at some speculation on what we think some of these events are going to look like. So, reading one of the paragraphs here, it says, it's important to say that at the Avatar of the Realm, prizes celebrate more than victory alone. Alongside mastery on the battlefield, we intend to honor the creativity players bring through their decks, craftwork, and other artifacts of self-expression. So I also, just to pause there, I imagine players will get prizing for cosplays too. That has to be a thing, right? Like, if I wear a really cool costume and I get a promo card, that would be so cool. So I will probably be running my town priest outfit again. I wore that at SorceryCon. It was, I still have the outfit. I guess I'm just being frugal. I'll probably make another appearance as the town priest. So if anyone else is planning to do a town priest, let me know and we can get a photo. That'd be really cool. I will definitely be filming at the event for my own channel, at the very least. And so you'll see me walking around with the camera either way. Yeah. So, and it says, sorry, finishing that sentence that I cut off, but we want to honor the creativity that players bring through their decks, craftwork, and other artifacts of self-expression, and the moments of wonder that transform a tournament into a shared story worth remembering. Wow, that's just so cool. So, yeah, Avatar of the Realm, it's the big event of the year, and hopefully it turns into something that people look forward to going to every year, in addition to other big events like SorceryCon, Sorcery Fest, over in Europe, and all other events happening in addition. There's just so many cool events happening. I'm having to talk to my wife with how I'm going to budget all these out, choosing which ones to go to. I'm definitely trying to go to Avatar of the Realm and SorceryCon. I'm also going to SCGCon Vegas, but also got invited to go help film an event in Vegas again with Beasts of the Bay. That's happening in September, Labor Day weekend, I believe, or Memorial Day weekend, I forget, but one that has a Monday off. So that's right there, 4 events, basically one event every 2 months where I'm flying out to go to something. So I am, just for a little spin-off, my mom recently started working at Alaska Airlines. So I'm trying to see if I can get buddy pass tickets that make it cheaper for me to fly. If you've ever heard of them, essentially they're standby tickets. So they're a little bit less secure than a regular ticket in that if you show up and then there's no seats available, you don't get to fly on the plane. But because she works there, she can kind of see like, okay, well, this flight, there's like 30 seats open. So you'll get on that one, just go there. I'm trying to coordinate with her to see like, hey, I have all these events coming up. is that cool? Like, and then also trying to see if I can feasibly do that. In order to do standby passes, I think it's suggested to not check a bag in, because if you check a bag and then you don't get on the flight, your bag's gone with that flight, right? So, so far, all the events I've gone to, I've always traveled without checking a bag. I've always done carry-on, and everything just barely fits into my carry-on in my backpack. You know, all of my camera gear, my computer, my you know, my cosplay, my clothes, everything. It all has to fit in a carry-on. So it's definitely a challenge. But if I can just continue that trend in order to fly a little bit cheaper and fund these events, you know, my wife was like, hey, as long as you're funding it with your, you know, selling of sorcery cards and not our income, do whatever you want. It's like, sweet. So if anyone's looking for roommates at any of these events, I'm also always open to that, to try to save some money and make these trips more affordably or financially feasible. Okay, so pivoting back, I want to talk really quick. This will probably be my final thought, and we'll wrap it up. This is just a short one to announce that Avatar of the Realm has been announced. It's here. Bookmark it. I'm very excited. I will definitely do. I'm planning to be there. So I'll say I'll definitely be there, and unless something comes up or the price is like ridiculously expensive. But assuming it's affordable, I will expect, or please expect me to be there. So I want to talk about on the 13th, Friday the 13th, they're doing the special mystery sealed. So this is happening on November 13th. So for me, like, where my mind immediately goes is that this has to coincide in some way with the release of the next upcoming set, right? They've been waiting to announce the date on this. They're really working hard. Eric Scaro said that is to have, like, you know, just the perfect timing and the perfect date and the perfect pricing, all of this, all that organization that goes into this. One of them has to be the fact that, hey, the new set is coming out. So is Avatar of the Realm going to be a big wrap up for Gothic meta, and then we'll kind of tease some things? So what I was hoping was that the Friday the 13th was actually a sealed event with the new set. Maybe it is a limited, I don't know. I mean, because if it's sealed, you get 6 packs, right? So right then and there, it's like, okay, you get a sneak preview. Maybe the new set is coming out 2 weeks after Avatar of the Realm. But everyone who goes to Avatar of the Realm, congratulations, you get to do a sealed draft with the actual set before everyone else. So then you have 6 packs from the set. Someone's gonna pull a rainbow, or sorry, not a rainbow. Someone's gonna pull a full unique. Someone's gonna pull a really busted card or one of the cool avatars. Trading's going to start happening. The prices are going to be super expensive for those cards for about 2 weeks until the next set comes out. That could be one way they do it. I was also talking to Bobby, also known as Ring Slay. He's another local player here in Portland, Oregon. We were playing online and we were talking about this, and his thoughts were, sorry to speak for you, Bobby, by the way, but I think his thoughts were good, is that he was thinking, oh, it might be some sort of like almost like a pre-release kit where it's a sealed event, but it includes 2 packs from the new set, or maybe specifically just the avatars from the new set. So it's a sealed event, but hey, you can play with the new avatars and try to play with something like that. Could be really cool. Because I do feel like players that can't make this event, players in other parts of the world that can't feasibly fly to the US for this, as that would be quite expensive, they would probably feel bad, to be honest, if we all got the set a little bit early. And they didn't. But if we just got a few cards or maybe a few promos from the upcoming set exclusive to this event, that's maybe more fair and just a way to get excited for the new set. Because there's no way at Avatar of the Realm they're not also advertising what the next set is going to be. They will definitely by then have already announced what the theme is going to be. We'll probably know the name of it and the theme of what it's going to be by then. So I'm just curious to see what they're going to do at Avatar of the Realm to get excited for that. But it also, I mean, and I think it's fitting that Avatar of the Realm happens just before the release of a new set. I think that's sort of like, all right, we're wrapping up 2026 in Gothic. Let's look back at all the crazy things that happened. We had Koi, Nixie, and Thin Ice. We had Lord of Lies. We had Mono Water, CJ, Necromancers. Like, boy, what a year for water. Now let's wrap it up and see you next year. And then the new set comes out. It's Christmas again. Everyone's drafting and having fun at their local game stores. Hopefully distribution stays strong a little bit longer for the next set than it did for Gothic. It's been a bit rough lately. It sounds like they're starting to do some things with Team Covenant, who is one of their like official vendors that you can buy product from. It sounded like they were trying to do a program with them to get more cases to stores who need them for drafts and stuff. So I hope that they'll never find the perfect balance, but hopefully they find one that's better, you know, just improving over time. So I hope next year, with whatever the next set is or whatever that ends up being, I hope they did learn some things this year on how to keep the product healthily available moving into June and July and August when it's a bit of the lull period. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think I'll just wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Avatar of the Realm, please expect me to be there. I'll let you know if I can't for any other reason, like if the price is $1,000, which is way more than I would be anticipating. It sounds like it's gonna be a great weekend. It's essentially going to be what the SCG cons of last year were, but one big final event that hopefully sorcerers from all over the world and all over the country are flocking to celebrate what we achieved, what we enjoyed, and what we experienced in 2026 with the new Gothic set. I hope to see you there. It's gonna be fun. Mark your calendars. We're also finally uploading more content from SorceryCon 3. My life has been very busy and I'm catching up. Dustin Brassard was the first artist interview that I did. He was one of the altar artists at the event. Super cool guy. Please go check out the video if you haven't. I think you'll enjoy that interview. It's short and sweet. Super cool guy. And please look forward to more artist interviews and the full final SorceryCon 3 recap coming very soon. I'm working on them right now. So I'm going to upload this video, get back to work on those. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time with another sorcery video. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.